Welcome back to Why is the Internet This Way? I found another crazy local videography job posting, and I'm going to read it. I think I just want to ask the guy that wrote this, what were you planning on getting out of this? I feel like is the like healthiest way to say that. So let me read it. It's wild. So anyway, local videography group on Facebook. Says, we're looking for a videographer intern to join our lean, mean, and growing media team, exclamation point. And then the next line is in all caps in different font, but it's still like huge font, like 24 font. It says, warning, all caps. If you are a snowflake, septum-pierced, mentally unstable, rock star creative type, please do not apply. So that's the top of the job posting. Anyway, it says want a paying creative role in a company that also rapidly accelerates your skill set so you can stop having to chase gigs. Wouldn't it be awesome if you had two very talented video editors underneath you and there's a comma there, and the majority of your time could be spent being a creative genius? If those two questions alone are hell yes, all caps, then I'd like to invite you to read the next few lines of this post. They very well could be the words that change your life, exclamation point, parentheses, no joke. My name is Name. For the last 7 years, comma, I've been the man behind scenes for many of the biggest personal brands in the coaching space, and my partner, his name is also Name, lol, and I have collectively produced over $65 million in revenue for our clients. You know what we constantly need? All caps, good creative. Right now, more than anything else, we need someone who would like to help us build out our help us build out the media department of our business to help achieve exactly that. We have two very talented video editors in the Philippines. I should have read this ahead of time, who are absolute rock stars, but we know if we could have someone leading them and working alongside them, comma, our team would be 50x as effective because truthfully, ... We are up to my eyeballs in other work. Yep, that's how he wrote it. And we need someone who can take this off my plate while still maintaining the high standards we've set. Here's what this role actually looks like. Bullet 1. You'll be directing our two editors, giving them creative direction and ensuring every piece of content we push out is error-free and super clean. Would have been nice for them that role to be used in this posting, I feel. Bullet point 2. You'll be shooting quality video. You don't need 50K in gear, but you need to know your way around a camera for my personal brand to help us bring more clients so you can make even more. Oh, so there's a sales aspect to it. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, let's see. Even more. You will be occasionally editing products. Bullet point 3. You'll be occasionally editing projects yourself when our other two editors are loaded up and don't have any capacity. Bullet point 4. We make offensive jokes and like to be unfiltered. This is 100% a bro culture. If you don't like it, we're not the right fit for you, exclamation point. I want to come back to that in a minute because I feel like, in the like turducken of red flags we've already seen, I feel like that is actually like the most honest thing that's been said in this post so far. Anyway, continuing on. Here's what you need. Bullet point 1, strong creative vision and the ability to communicate it clearly to our editing team. Bullet point 2, willingness to learn fast what works in the paid ads marketing space based on our portfolio. Bullet point 3, ability to manage projects without having to babysit every decision. Bullet point 4, located in town. What you get. Bullet point 1, pay position from day one, $20 per hour. To be fair, where they're posting it, government minimum wage is the minimum wage, and I think it's like either 12 or 16. So I think it's 12. Anyway, you get paid $20 per hour. We need you to start for about 10 to 20 hours, and we absolutely can get you up to full time down the road at 40 hours and above. Bullet point 2 of what you get. 2 skilled editors who handle a lot of heavy lifting on the video front. Bullet point 3, what you get. Direct access to me and my partner's 7 years of marketing knowledge. Is that 7 years combined? So 3 and 4? The way this is written, I suspect that may be the case. Anyway, moving on. Oh, there's more bullet points. So bullet point 4, is that what we're on? 4? Real clients with real budgets who trust our recommendations. Parentheses, hint, this will build your portfolio like crazy. Well, have we hit bingo yet on the red flags? Bullet point 5, I think. The chance to build out an entire media department with your fingerprints all over it. Oh, thanks, man. If you're still reading and thinking, this is exactly what I've been looking for, then shoot an email to email with 1, your best 2 to 3 pieces of video work. 2, a 60-second video telling me why you're not like every other creative out there. 3, your location and availability to start. Don't send me a resume. Don't send me a cover letter. Show me what you can create. Let's build something massive together! ! P.S. If you're offended by the opening line, this isn't the gig for you. We work hard. We push boundaries. We don't apologize for wanting people who are easily offended. Wait a second. We don't apologize for wanting people who are easily offended and can't handle direct. He missed a word in here. So he's supposed to have said, we work hard, we push boundaries, and we don't apologize for not wanting people who are easily offended. But he wrote for wanting, so he dunked on himself. Easily offended and can't handle direct communication with high expectations. Okay, so before we get into the comments, and I'll admit I didn't read this all the way through. I just screenshotted it because I was like, this is a freebie. Let's just walk through the red flags. So, videographer intern to join our lean, mean, growing media team. So, a videographer is a job. An intern is a job. It would already have been a deal breaker for me that they're calling it a videographer intern, but to call a spade, they are paying, and that's usually videographer intern implies unpaid and college credit if possible. But they are paying it, so they're just saying if you're an intern, I guess you're not a boss, I guess is what that means. And then we have the warning, if you're a snowflake, septum pierced, mentally unstable, rockstar creative type, please don't apply. So the rest of the thing is talking about we want a creative genius who can be creative and run the department. But in the warning, if you're an unstable rockstar creative type with a septum piercing and as a snowflake, please do not apply. So who's left in that? It's all like a certain type of, let's be honest, guy. Is that what he's getting at? He's looking for the one guy who still buys into this stuff that has been proven to be a part of society that we're all kind of embarrassed about at this point, and most people have been embarrassed about the whole time. No, okay. Let's see. Want to paying a creative role in a company? Wouldn't it be awesome? I mean, the guy's given off a very clear vibe, which I kind of appreciate because, I had to look for the warning label in the second paragraph that was in bold to realize that this is a nightmare, but he's really buying into it. There's this like alpha male bro culture about it. There's over the last 7 years, I've been the man behind the scenes. So he's saying that the 7 years of experience. So the way he phrased it, our team of 7 years experience, what he should have said was our team of 14 years combined experience, because right now it's formatted that our guy did 7 years and then his partner is sitting at 0 years. I don't know. I guess I'm being nitpicky because, the vibe of the whole thing was kind of shitty to begin with. So why not be a little crass, What we need, good creative, but no snowflakes, no septum piercings, no rock stars, need no mentally unstable people. Think their production company has any mirrors in the building? Let's see what else. We have two very talented video editors in the Philippines. That was a jump scare. I hadn't seen that before in this. I didn't read that far down in this post. So he's okay. So why is this can't be a secret. I don't think this is an insider industry thing. I think this is just common knowledge because of, shoes and the garment industry. If you're overseasing a service to like the Philippines, it's because you can pay them peanuts versus American rates. So, bad math. An American video editor, $50 an hour, bad math for probably what I expect they're doing. Philippines, maybe they're paying him like 12 an hour, if that. Could be less, could be $2 American an hour. So that's concerning on its own. So they're this big local, we collectively produced over $65 million in revenue for our clients, and part of the way we do that is we send all of the editing work to a country where you're not responsible for paying editors what they're worth. Although, is there a country that exists in? My point being, he's overseasing them because that's incredibly cheap. It's in their mind, it's cheaper to send the footage over to the Philippines editors and have them work hourly and then send the footage back. That's cheaper than paying somebody local who's able to charge a higher rate. So that's insane. That's gross. That's super gross. And then he writes, "We are up to my eyeballs in other work." That is just an incredible phrase right there. We are up to my eyeballs in incredible work. Not my partner's eyeballs, because again, he's a zero years experience guy. We're up to my 7 years eyeballs guy of creative work. You'll be directing our two editors, giving them creative. Yeah. And you'll be editing. You'll be editing at $20 an hour. Basically, what he's in throwing in the $20 an hour thing is you're going to shoot for us and you're going to edit for us for $20 an hour. I'll tell you right now, if they're going to hire an in-house person, even if they're going to be so stupid to call it in videography intern, that person's going to be expecting like $50 or more per hour if they're hourly, just because that's what the rate is where they're located. So, which is why they're probably offshoring work to the Philippines, because they literally don't have enough money to pay anybody. And so, yeah, it's a workaround. So the idea that basically you're getting hired on at $20 an hour, which is way below rate and not significantly above federal minimum wage, and they're expecting you to shoot and probably edit and direct. That's yeah. I could see myself as a 19-year-old seeing this and being like, well, I already like to edit. It sounds like it's free money and it sounds like it's great portfolio material and these guys sound rad, so let's do it. Even then, I would probably be like, it sounds like they're doing a really specific type of work. And so as far as portfolio work goes, you're only going to get like 1 or 2 samples out of them. So even if you justify all the shit about it as I'm getting portfolio work, realistically, you do 1 or 2 jobs for them, and that's as much portfolio as you're going to be able to glean from them, because they're making the same thing over and over again, and their vibe is they're not open to outside input, clearly. Yeah, $20 an hour is a big slap in the face. We need you to start for about 10 to 20 hours. So it's a temp position then. So they're hiring a temp position. They're basically auditioning. Best case scenario, they're auditioning talent to see who's going to fit in their company, and hopefully they extend that once they've hired them into a full-time, but it's hourly job, paying way too little, like hilariously too little. But bad faith argument, they're just gonna string along as many people as they can get to agree to do this with them, and 10 to 20 hours a week across 4 people, yeah, you're not going to be, if somebody drops off, it's like, well, that's what is it called? Breakage? Isn't that what they call it? And no, turnover, or I don't know. What is it where the restaurant just constantly has a new waiter every day? Turnover. Anyway, see what else. Direct knowledge of me and my partner's 7 years of marketing knowledge. Oh, thanks, man. Based on the Facebook post that you're marketing a job for, doesn't feel like 7 years, I guess is what I would say. Doesn't really feel like 7 years to me. It kind of feels like 6 months and a lot of a very specific type of podcast that you watch. So, let's see. Real clients with real budgets who trust our recommendations. This will build your portfolio. I mean, if I was their client and I saw this post, I honestly, I kind of want to be, I'm sure because it's Facebook and the internet, and there's 17 comments when I screenshotted it. I came back later and there's like 100 comments now, but I'm sure somebody has already gone to, like, found out who their clients are and forwarded this post to their clients and be like, just so you know, this is the video production team that you're working with. Like, they're bragging about their clients, but they're also like coming off as just like world-class assholes. Admittedly, some clients are not going to care. Most clients are going to care. So I think the internet will have already done that by the time this video comes out. But I'm curious. I feel like there was a Facebook post a while back where the guy came back and complained. This might be that. This might be a what the hell, guys. You blew up my spot. I was just trying to hire somebody for, below rate. And also the rest of our work is outsourced to the Philippines because they're poor and they'll do it for nothing. Anyway, maybe I'm not being as accommodating to these two guys. Let's see what the internet had to say. And it's the same people that always comment, and good for them. I am absolutely silent on Facebook because of these kinds of situations. Anyway, first person says, could you share some of the coaching brand clients you've been behind so we can get a feel for your work and the landscape of the world? That's a good point for a couple of reasons. First reason is, yeah, it's weird that they didn't give any example. And I guess you could look up their company. Did they say what it was? I feel like in the email address you can glean from. No, there's no way to know what this company is. Interesting. Hold up the red flag there. But he's got a good point. Like, what kind of, usually when there's a posting like this, they usually have like a Vimeo link or a YouTube link or something of like, here's what we do, or here's our last project, because real companies are not hiding their material because that's how they get more work. So, but also, yeah, it's also a freebie that's you see the client and then you just shoot off an email with the client with a screenshot of this, be like, by the way, here's the guy doing your videography. So also here's my card. I'm not a videographer, so I wouldn't give them but here's my card if you want somebody who's not just being a piece of shit on the internet. Anyway, next person dropped their link to their website. I can't knock it, but based on the amounts of red flags, yeah. Oh, to be fair, the first guy who said, could you share some of the clients? You got 3 upvotes for that, three thumbs up, so got it. Next person says, I asked chat to chime in as to why this is getting laugh reacts. TLDR. Oh, this is the quote from the chat, which, again, I hate AI, but for the sake of this, I think this is a perfect bit. I think Mr. S, who did this, perfect bit. TLDR, this job post for videographer intern at a self-proclaimed lean, mean media team in place offers $20 an hour for 10 to 20 hours a week with promises of growth, creative freedom, and 2 editors underneath you. The poster name brags about generating $65 million in revenue for clients and wants someone who can shoot, direct, and occasionally edit while tolerating offensive jokes and bro culture. The ad repeatedly warns off snowflakes and mentally unstable creatives and insists on thick-skinned, hustle-minded people apply. Why this is crazy talk and unhinged... Why this is crazy talk and unhinged. This posting reads like a parody of toxic startup culture. It calls itself an internship, but expects high-level directing, production management, and leadership skills, then pays barely above entry-level wages. The bro culture disclaimer is a red flag masking an unprofessional work environment, and the no snowflakes line screams insecurity more than toughness. They want someone to build an entire media department for $20 an hour while taking pride in being offensive. In short, they're pitching exploitation as an opportunity and macho bluster as company culture that had 14 likes and a laughing face. Dude killed it. Bro killed it. Bro and chat killed it on that one. That's a pants peeing level of hilarious. Another poster says to that guy, "That's the vibe I got. I scroll down and see the pay, and I could have a chuckle." Next person felt, yeah. Next person says, "Wishing you well in building your jerk crew. May you find perfection." That had 4 thumbs ups. Next person said, "Judging from the post, the PFP and his YouTube channel, the dude is getting red-pilled hard and wishing they could grift with the worst of them. 2 upvotes for that." Anonymous participant said, "Oh boy, another one." And then a meme or whatever, a GIF called "We Call BS." And any other things. Next person says, "Let me get this straight. You've made over $65 million in content and only pay local skilled people $20 an hour and farm out other jobs to the Philippines." That had 6 upvotes. Somebody said, "This is literally so embarrassing, LMAO." Next person said, "The copy, pretty good." A guy that posts all the time. I see him all the time. "When I read the part about the Filipino editors, I immediately reminded this recent news," and he points to an article, and the article is from the New York Post that says, "This New York chicken joint employs cashiers zooming in from the Philippines and still wants you to tip." That's hardcore. That's good job, poster. Next person says, "My favorite part, no sarcasm. Warning, if you are a snowflake, septum pierced, mentally unstable, rock star, creative type, please do not apply." Easy to pick them out when they all comment the same. Nice. This next person says, "Dear Lord, this isn't satire." Okay, so that was the comments, and there's a million more comments now, and honestly, I should check, but it might have been taken down by now. How this got through moderation, because this is a very big group and there's like a dozen or so moderators on this group, is shocking, but it seems to have been happening all the time. Somebody hands this to me. Somebody hands me a copy of this and says, "What do you think?" You know, either offering me a job or saying, you know, I'm about to post this on behalf of my company. What do you think? The question is simply, what were you planning on getting out of this? Because you're in a Facebook group that is dedicated almost exclusively to creative people locally in the film community. And the very first thing you say is, "We need an intern videographer, and if you're a snowflake, get fucked." Like, was it a copy paste post in a bunch of places, and I've only seen it in one because I'm only in the group with this guy in one, because I'm in dozens of videography groups and I've only seen it here. I don't think that's the answer. I think this guy is so drinking his own. Somebody said it. Red pilled. He's red pilled. He's doing the manosphere crap, which I don't need to get into on my channel because that's not what this channel is about. But he's buying into a niche inside of a niche inside of a niche, and he's treating all of us like we're in that niche with him, with the way he talks and the way he behaves. And I mean, credit where credit's due. He made it very clear, Freudian slip. He made it very clear very quickly that he's literally in this group of whatever it is, 2,000 or 4,000. He's speaking to one person who's going to read this and go, "You're right. That's a good point." Wild way to post for a job posting, considering, I feel like the logic of posting a job posting is you want to get more than one person to apply. But I guess if that one person who thinks identical to you is ideal, then mission accomplished. But I don't see that happening, especially because the guy hasn't come back to fight in what I've screenshotted, but I'm pretty sure he had. Well, let me check. Well, let me see if I can pull it up. I bet he's been fighting with people, and if it's getting a lot of traction, yep, here it is. Okay, so when I screenshotted it, it had 17 comments, and it is currently sitting at 36 that are here. So 36, assuming none have been deleted. Let's see if he's arguing with anybody. So the guy's name is there. Okay, I just won't say it out loud. We got a reply to my favorite part, no sarcasm warning, no snowflakes. The author replied to this guy. "I found the perfect fit within an hour of posting this role. I'm not looking to turn hay into needles, but rather looking for a needle in the haystack. Easy peasy when you intentionally offend people, lol." And then obviously reply, "The only thing offensive in your post was the low payment for what you're asking. You're going to churn through high talent at that rate." Yeah, yep. And then another guy wrote, "A needle in a haystack being an overskilled videographer with no idea what their work is worth. Someone who will slave away for you, who can make the same amount at Starbucks. Someone who will absorb all your verbal abuse in the name of not being a weak snowflake. You're making $65 million for your clients. You don't get to cheap out on talent. Get the fuck out of here, brah." That had 3 upvotes. Another person says, "AKA a whole bunch of guys calling people slurs. Sounds like then you're in the fact the snowflake." Yeah, you're not wrong. "The pay is too low. This guy's pretty cringe." Oh, yep. The internet found him. One of the guy who the poster responded to said, "Guys, watch this horseshit OP posted to his story. This is the guy you're trying to win over with your 5 to 10 years of professional full-time experience in the video space. Jesus said it best, cast not thy pearls towards swine, lest they trample them under their dirty ass hooves on their way to kill you. He doesn't need real talent. High school kid who maxed out a credit card in FX3 last month will do just fine." And it's a vertical video standing in front of a building. I mean, it's nothing. I'm not going to play it. Editor Matt here. So I did end up watching it later just because I couldn't help myself. I think it's an Instagram reel. It could be TikTok. I don't know. I'm not on either of those very much, especially not TikTok. But yeah, it's like a multi-part rant. I think it's like 3 or 4 clips of him walking and holding the phone up his nose, ranting about how it's $20 because you're just a person who's pushing a button, and that's what a videographer is. And he literally says that. So yeah, dude, yeah. I mean, way to sell yourself. Yeah, that's it. Back to the show. But yeah. It's a life coach. It's a let's be honest, mid-20s guy life coach. Sincerely hope you get exactly what you're looking for. Signed, a professional with stable mind, a septum ring, and a rockstar creative. You are correct that I wouldn't dream of exploiting myself to this toxic bro hustle culture for a laughable $20 an hour while you brag about the millions you've grifted. You might also try looking on Craigslist. Another guy said, "I celebrate this ad." Another guy rhymes his name with Dick. That's pretty good. Another person says, "So alpha, you sound like the next Bro Jogan. Snowflake, snowman snowflake." So that's what it is. That's honestly, I feel like that was a very healthy. Okay, so I come from the world of I've been on set with assholes, and so I have a no assholes policy. If I'm working for someone and they don't have a no assholes policy, I have to decide whether the money and the life is worth it. But for my own stuff, I have a no assholes policy. I think it's the best policy I've ever come up with, and I didn't come up with that idea at all. It's trial and error, because eventually you get that one person in that one like 13 and a half hour of the 15-hour day who just doesn't know when to stop being themselves in assholery. And you really have that moment with yourself where you're like, okay, so I've been pushed all the way to my limit. I can either forget this day in an hour and a half when we're done, or I can wind up in jail for something I don't feel any kind of way about after what I'm about to do. And then you have that moment where you're like, well, I'd rather not be in jail because I kind of like my life. Therefore, no assholes policy. This guy is building from the top down an assholes team, and it might work. It might work because in the like hype beast, bro grift culture, at least the way I understand it, everybody's lying about everything to everybody at all times. That's, you're renting the Lamborghini kind of crap. So maybe this sort of like posture he's putting on works in that environment, but clearly it didn't work here. And I'm pretty sure he's going to get banned from the videography group because, we took an out loud vote in reading the post, and we all across the board agree this guy sucks. So don't be like this guy, I guess, is what I want to say. I don't know. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice when someone is so unself-aware that they just give you exactly what you need to know. Because usually you end up on set with this kind of person and they're really nice to you until they decide they don't need to be nice anymore and they can just be themselves, and they are the worst fucking person on earth. And you find that out on set. And so the fact that this guy was very upfront about this, the fact that he sucks, is good for everybody. For the sake of career longevity and just, being a person in the world and interacting with other people, I think there's room for improvement in his personality. I don't think that's much of a secret. But nobody's perfect. Maybe he's just been drinking the Kool-Aid, and maybe he'll get a big chunk and cough and realize that he's drinking a whole, it's shit. He's drinking shit. Maybe he'll realize he's drinking shit and he needs to, wash his mouth out and make a life change. But until then, dude's making $65 million for clients, and he's throwing up the middle finger to people who are not, straight white males. Oh, sorry. It's a mirror in my place. Anyway, fuck this guy. It is what it is. I'm glad it worked out the way it did, because that was harrowing. It would be nice if it was a more interesting post, because I feel like I've found those lately, but this was just straight up just a guy tripling down on the wrong tone, but in doing so did everybody a favor by making sure that everybody has him screenshotted so that they're not going to have to work with him, which is nice. So anyway, like, share, subscribe if you care. Catch you next time.